I'm here today to give you a workout for seniors with limited mobility. We are just going to be doing some chair exercises. Now, this is something that you can do yourself, or maybe you have a parent or a grandparent who needs to move a little bit more, and it's a bit difficult these days because we can't leave our homes. So maybe this is something you could do with them, either by FaceTime or Skype, or even explain the exercises to them over the phone if they don't have access to that. But I'm going to take you through what the exercises are, and let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to move my computer down so you can see what I'm doing, and you will see, hopefully, my chair. I have my equipment at the ready, okay? So what I have is a sturdy chair that has no arms on it, okay? Now, if you want to be extra cautious and extra secure, you can move this up against a wall. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to leave it out in the room. In addition to the chair, I have a pillow, small pillow, a towel, and also a bottle of water, which is very important, not just for hydration, but I'm also going to use it as a modified dumbbell. So the good thing about this is if it's too heavy, I can take some water out, and if it's too light, I can add a little bit more. You could also use possibly some tin products, like a tin of soup, or maybe you have a bag of flour. I would say a bag of sugar, but we shouldn't be eating sugar these days, so hopefully you don't have that. But something along those lines, just to use as a weight. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to move this down a bit because you can't actually see my feet, which is not good, is it? So, now you can't see my head. I'm not sure what's worse, actually. Okay, so you'll get the idea. So I'm going to sit on a nice sturdy chair, and the first thing to do is to make sure that you have good posture, which means you have a nice tall spine so that you can breathe. You're not hunched over like this over your shoulders. Your shoulders are back and down, okay? You can hold on to the edge of the chair if you need extra stability. But I don't want any arms here because they will get in the way of the exercises. Now, like I said, you could move this to the back wall if you were uncertain of it not moving. But for now, I think this is good and sturdy. You can hold on to the side, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a warm up, okay? And it's very simple. It's just marching on the spot. So I want you to keep a nice 45-degree angle in your knees, in your legs, and you're just marching on the spot like this. You can hold on to the side if you're feeling slightly unbalanced or uncomfortable. If you're feeling a little bit more confident, you can take one hand off and you can start moving that arm backwards and forwards to get your heart moving a little bit faster. You can take both of them off if you're feeling confident. And if you need a little bit of intensity, you can take your arms straight up and over, and you just keep marching. And you do that for 2 or 3 minutes. And your heart rate will start to increase, and also that your muscles will start to warm up. Now, if at any time you feel any pain or discomfort or too out of breath or shortness of breath, of course you must stop immediately, okay? I'm assuming that everybody that's going to be doing this knows what they're capable of or not capable of and has had some clearance from a doctor. But just take it at your own pace. Another little warm-up exercise we can do is we can move our legs to the side and then back to the middle and then to the side and back to the middle. Not big movements, just to the side and to the middle and stop. Okay, so once we've done a little bit of a warm-up, now we can move into the strength exercises. Now, you don't have to do all of these in one go. In fact, actually doing them in little increments through the day is not a bad idea, because it will mean that you will keep moving through the day, which is also very important. I have 8 exercises for you. They are all seated exercises. And so you could do one an hour for 8 hours, and you would be moving consistently throughout the day, which is a really good idea. If you're just starting out to do these, you may only be able to manage 1 or 2 at a time, and that's fine. Hopefully over time you can build it. The ideal amount would be to do 10 to 12 of each of the exercises and do them 2 times, okay? But for now, we're just going to take the exercises one at a time, and I'm going to show you how to do them. So the first exercise we're going to do is we're going to, again, make sure that you're sitting nice and tall in the chair, got a nice tall spine, your arms are down by your side, your legs are in front of you, your knees are following your toes, and you're kind of about a hip width apart. And we're going to go a little bit from what we did in the warm-up, which was the marching, and we're going to do some high knees, okay? Now this is going to work the front of your legs, it's also going to work your hips and a little bit of the tummy muscles. So if you want to hold on tight to the side, you're absolutely free to do that. And then you just lift your leg as high as you can, and then lower it back down. And lift the other leg as high as you can, and lower it back down. And ideally, you do about 10 to 12 on each side, and then have a rest, do the next exercise, and then we can go back and do that all over again, okay? So that's the first exercise. The second exercise is knee extensions. So you're going to take your leg, and then you're going to straighten it out. Now, I don't want you to straighten it out so that you lock out your knee, okay? You still need to keep a little bit of a bend in the knee. You'll bring it back and forward, back and forward. And you'll start to feel these muscles all along your legs start to do some work. Rest it down and then do the same on the other side. Oh, hear that crack? There we go. So, again, 10 to 12 on each side is the optimum, if you can manage 1 or 2. If anything feels painful at any time, stop doing it. It's not a problem at all, okay? So, the next exercise we're going to do, I'm going to take my little pillow. Now, you could use a soft ball for this. I don't happen to have one, and this is the nearest thing, but what we're going to do is we're going to put it between our knees, and I want you to hold it there so it doesn't fall down, okay? And then, again, nice tall spine, shoulders back and down. You're going to squeeze that pillow with your inner thighs and release. You hold it for 1 or 2 seconds, and then you squeeze it tight. Feel the muscles on the inside of your thigh start to shake and start to work, okay? And again, 10 to 12 times is perfect. 3 or 4, whatever you can manage to start with is absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to put that pillow down. We will come back to it later. We are doing 1 final exercise with it. Actually, 2 final exercises with it. We're going to move on now to our upper body. And this is where my towel comes in. You could use a scarf for this, whatever you happen to have handy. Ideally, I would have some kind of resistance band, but I'm assuming that you don't have that. If you do have a resistance band, then go ahead and do it. And the principle will be the same. So I want you to hold this towel with your arms shoulder width apart, okay? And I want you to have a little bit of a soft bend in the elbow. So again, not locking out the joint, just a bit of a soft bend in the elbow. And then what we're going to do, keeping the arms otherwise straight, we're going to take this and I'm going to raise it up overhead. And big squeeze as we are at the top. And then we take it back down and rest it on our knee. And again, straight up. Pulling this towel apart. There's no give in this towel, but I can feel the tension as I try to pull it down. It's working all my muscles at the top of my shoulders. Okay. Next exercise. I'm going to go back to my cushion. And this time I'm going to put it between my hands. I'm going to do a hand squeeze. Okay, so I can start off with the cushion quite close to my body, and all I'm going to do is push my hands together to make this cushion as thin as possible, and release. I can make it a little bit more challenging by taking the cushion out in front of me and squeezing it. Oh, I can really feel that right by my armpits, and release, and squeeze, and release. Again, don't lock out your arms, don't lock out your joints. Next exercise, we're going to do a row. Now you can do this with the towel or you can do it without. In fact, I'm going to show it to you without and then I'll show you with the towel. So we're going to bend forward a little bit. Now, I'm still keeping my nice tall spine. All I'm doing is hinging at the hips a little bit. And I'm going to take my arms in front of me. Now, if I had dumbbells, I would be using them right now, but I don't have dumbbells. I could use my water bottle, but I'm just going to do it without because actually you can feel it without. So I'm going to have my hands down here, kind of clench my fists as though I was holding something. And I'm going to bring my arms, my elbows back behind me, like there's somebody behind me. And I'm going to try and get rid of them, okay? So, and squeeze at the top. So you shoot your elbows back and your chest comes forward into that gap. And you squeeze at the top, okay? So like I said, I could do it with the towel, keeping a little bit of tension on the towel. lean out in front of me, making sure my arms are not too far apart. And then I'm just bringing it up and squeezing. And squeeze. Okay? And the final exercise I have for you is a bicep curl. Okay? A bicep curl with my water bottle. Now, like I said, you can do anything that you happen to have hand. If you have a dumbbell, and a nice dumbbell would be great, but this is my modified dumbbell. So what I'm going to do, I need to keep my arm nice and long all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to hold on to this bottle, not too hard. I'm not going to grip it too tightly. I don't want too much stress in my wrist right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up, keeping this elbow pinned into my waist. So I'm kind of isolating this muscle here. So this is where we're working, this bicep muscle. And put it up to the top, bit of a squeeze, and then lower it down nice and slowly. We do that 10 to 12 times on each side. So I'm going to do it on the other side. And up, and down, and up, and down. Okay? So the final exercise, sorry, I missed one exercise. Final exercise is going to work our core a little bit. And again, I'm using a pillow for this. You can use a ball. You could maybe even use a weight. Possible to do that, but I'm just going to use the ball. Alternatively, you can just cross your arms. Not use anything at all, but I'm going to use my little pillow, and I'm going to keep my feet firmly planted on the floor. I'm going to keep my body from the waist downwards, not moving at all, okay? And I'm going to take my pillow and I'm going to turn. See, this part of my body is staying still. I'm turning in my midriff, okay? So I'm going to go round to the side, and round to the side, and then round to the side, and round to the side, okay? You'll start to feel all those tummy muscles starting to work, the muscles all the way down the side of your body, okay? And again, you want to do that 10 to 12 times on each side. So this is 1, this is 2. So we want to get to 20 to 24, okay? So hopefully you understood that, hopefully you followed along, hopefully you will do this going forward. I wish you luck, I wish you well. I want you to stay fit and healthy and keep moving. And hopefully we will get through this all together with a smile on our face. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.